Okay, so we're going to call the Board of Appeals meeting to order for January the 13th. Would you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. Housekeeping note, we have two excused absences tonight. Mr. Byers and Mr. Laporto are unable to make it. We can let the minutes reflect that. Next on the agenda, we have the acceptance of minutes from December the 9th. If everyone's had a chance to look at them.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of December 9th.
Motion by Mr. Kuchar, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Look at me, louder than you.
And so hereby accepted. Committee reports. Mr. Byers isn't here tonight, so we'll table that till the next meeting. Ms. McIntyre, is there anything on Housing Partnership?
I don't even know if it's a committee anymore.
Fair enough.
And if it has, I haven't been invited to any of the meetings anymore, so.
All right, well, I guess we'll,
Did you change your address?
Nope.
Maybe that's why you're not
No.
getting the invitations?
so maybe we'll just make a note to make an inquiry as to the Partnership Committee if they are in fact still meeting and/or are dissolved, if they could report for the next meeting. That would be helpful. Number 4 is the annual election. I think I'm going to table that till the end so we can do the public hearing first. The continued public hearings as to the special permit and variance for the Great Circle LLC at 85 Terminal Road. It would appear that a second request for continuance has come in to the board, time-stamped the 31st of December. With the correspondence that they are requesting it be continued to the February 10th meeting, as they're still reconfiguring their project. So, I mean, I think maybe, what I would suggest to the board, I don't want to see these sorts of things continue ad infinitum. I know this is their second continuance, so maybe we could grant it, but with the condition that there wouldn't be any more continuances until they come in and present or let us know if they're going to move forward with their petition or if they intend to withdraw their petition or what they intend to do, instead of, so we have two continuances now, That would be my suggestion.
Is there any rules that there can only be so many continuances? Or is it,
Not to my knowledge, there is a timing matter. However, it looks as though they've signed the time waiver
yeah, they signed off on the time waiver, right?
as to this time, right? So, if they're agreeing to extend, then that sort of tolls that. But at the same time, I don't want to see them just kind of hanging out there because, they could just refile if they have something new. But that would be my suggestion to the board.
I'm going to respectfully disagree.
Okay?
Just for the fact that if you have to have someone refile, the costly issue of refiling an application, I mean, I don't like people continue for reasons, and I think they've heard what we as a board had to say.
Yeah.
So if they want to take another month and get it right for us, then I have no problem with that. And me, myself, I don't think refiling and having a limit on how much they can continue. I mean, yes, 6 months in a row and continue. But I think 2 is, and I don't like to put a condition on a continuance.
Okay.
Especially when we ask them to go reconfigure something.
Well, I don't know what they're configuring, so just that they're working on it. So, I mean, I think in a minimum, even if they still required more time, I would just like someone to come in and, sort of make a presentation. But it's up to you guys. Whatever you want to do is fine with me.
I hear
That's the
you, Al.
request.
They did come in December. I'm not a fan of the mailbox continuances either, I confess. So if there were 3 or 4 of these mailbox continuances, I wouldn't be extraordinarily inclined to be continuously allowing them. But they were just here in December.
Okay?
And so in my mind, that's somewhat mitigated.
All right.
It was a holiday month.
It was. So, all right, so that's a lot of talk about the continuances for us.
That's what we do, we don't bring it up.
So whatever you guys want to do is fine. They're not here, they signed the time waiver, that's what
I
they're...
make a motion to continue the case of the special permit variance for the Great Circle Central LLC, 85 Terminal Road, for 1 month to the February meeting.
Okay, motion in a second?
Denny seconded.
Denny seconded.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Stands continued. Next on the agenda is a continued public hearing of variance in the zoning district R1, 562 Boxford Street. And Attorney Vaughn is here to present. No evidence was heard, that's right. It was opened and continued last month.
Good
Welcome.
evening. Good evening, Brian Vaughn for the applicant. I represent Joyce Bradshaw, the owner of one of the two properties. If you've looked at the application materials, we're actually doing a lot line adjustment between 562 Boxford Street, which is owned by Charlotte Hopping, and the Court and Family Realty Trust, which is the Bradshaw property next door. The reason it requires a variance is because the lot is a pre-existing non-conforming lot. It's an undersized lot, and it's currently protected by grandfathering because it was formed before a change in zoning. Although the lot is going to actually be more conforming than it is now, as it presently exists, it would potentially lose its grandfathering status as a pre-existing non-conforming lot. So in order to do the lot line adjustment, we need to obtain a variance for what will be an undersized lot, though in fact it will actually be more conforming to zoning than it presently is. There's quite a bit going on with this plan if you've looked at it, and part of the reason is it's serving both as an A&R, approval not required plan, as well as just the variance plan. Assuming that we were to have your approval, we would also make a Form A filing with the planning board and have their approval on the same plan as well. The last time where we had filed and we were going to appear before you, when the plan was reviewed by Jennifer Hughes, the Conservation Administrator, she picked up on a potential issue. We modified the plan from the last time we were here, and I think we adequately addressed her concern, which was a legitimate one. We had originally configured the lot to allow for some future redevelopment on the existing lot. However, Jennifer picked up on an issue that some of the wetlands which were connected to this on the Bradshaw lot potentially contain vernal pools or ephemeral pools, I believe they're called, which if the wetland contains those, it increases a setback from 20, I believe it's 25, 50 foot for the do not disturb and no build zone to potentially 50 feet and 75 feet. So we were able to reconfigure the lot line to expand it a little bit to the left or westerly side so as to allow a reasonable building envelope should the Hoppings desire in the future to redevelop or expand their home, the existing home, while still maintaining the integrity of the business transaction or lot line adjustment, so that any future development would or benefit to the Bradshaw lot could be retained. So.
All right. So you're picking up square footage?
Yeah. In fact, actually, in reconfiguring the lot from what was originally submitted to what was submitted now, we actually even further increased the lot size. So the presently existing lot, hold on one second. So the, right, so where's the original application was going to increase the lot from 50,861 square feet to 55,432 square feet. The revised plan will now increase it from 50,861 square feet to 59,652 square feet. And just in looking at the elements for a variance, you look at the lot size, shape, soil topography, you can see the original lot, when it was developed, wasn't developed really according to any master plan. We would typically see a lot which is more of a square shape. And here you can see the original lot's a really odd triangular shape, and the entire left half of that lot is really of no valuable use to the Hoppings, and really not beneficial at all for any use, because of the front setback, rear setback really doesn't allow you to do anything with it.
Looks like, the grading and some of the conservation requirements are also driving the need for the relief that you're seeking, from what I can see, as it relates to that shape.
Can you perhaps explain the relationship of what's happening with Lot 1 and Lot 2, or Parcel B, as it relates to the old version and the
So,
new version?
yeah, and it's kind of difficult to follow. This plan's a little bit confusing, but the existing lot as it presently exists is outlined really by that stone wall. So it includes Parcel A over to the left, as well as the area that says Lot 1, but really Lot 1 on this plan, I know this isn't the big plan, but I'll point it out to here.
Yeah.
So this area right here is Parcel A. This is the existing lot, following all the way up to here, down to here, and across to here. So this Lot 1 is really referring to what is intended to be the new lot over here, and Lot 2 is what's going to be this remaining area after. So presently, 562 Boxford Street consists of this area. After the lot line adjustment, Parcel A would be conveyed to the owner of Lot 2, Parcel B would be conveyed to the owner of Lot 1. So we end up with more of a traditional square-shaped lot, which is bigger in size than this existing lot by approximately 10,000 square feet.
And sorry, how does that relate to this plan?
So there's two separate owners. So presently,
Oh, I see.
this lot is owned by Hopping.
Got it.
This lot is owned by the Realty Trust. So after, assuming that we can, and what we're looking for, so this lot right here exists presently as a pre-existing non-conforming lot. So after this lot was created, zoning was introduced, and it's now undersized, so it doesn't even meet the minimum lot size as it presently exists. This new lot will be bigger and more conforming to present zoning, though it's not, still not conforming to current standard. And as I was mentioning before about, like, this whole area over here, because we have a front yard setback, rear yard setback, this area is really not much that they can do with.
So really, the only relief that you're looking for to make it more conforming is lot area and frontage, right? That's what I can see.
Well, we're not, no, it's
CBA.
actually going to comply with frontage.
Oh, yeah.
It will comply. If the only relief
Oh,
is...
175, right.
Correct. Also, the contiguous buildable area. Now, in this particular case, because we already have an existing home, it's probably not something that's looked at as closely with just a lot line adjustment. But I would note, with respect to that, this, this wetland over here is a relatively new wetland. The older plans, the wetland had ended up here, so whatever that's worth.
So there's a communication that's come in from Conservation that, as to the wetlands dated January 6th. Do you have a copy of that, that we received?
Yes, Jennifer did forward a copy of that to me as well.
Sure, because it seems like the wetlands are sort of driving some of the relief that you need as well. So that, so I mean, I'll just note, for the record at this point, I don't see any abutters here. I don't see anybody in the room. So, and this is the second hearing. So I guess we have no abutters at this point. Any questions?
Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
No questions from me, Mr. Chair.
I don't have any either. I mean, it looks like you're doing the right thing, trying to make it more conforming. I understand the, you know, the need for relief. I can see the irregular, how the lot is irregular and how you're trying to make it work. So, I mean, I think it sort of, you know, supports what you're looking for from where I sit. It's one of these things where you need 4 votes. And if there's anything else you want to add, that's fine. If the board wants to comment, or we could just close the hearing. And
I'm happy to offer a motion to close, Mr. Chair.
I'll second it.
motion to close second. Is that okay with you, Mr. Vaughn?
It's fine by me, thank you.
All right, so no further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of closing the hearing at this point?
Aye.
Deliberation?
No comment from me, Mr. Chair.
I'm all good.
Sounds like he's doing the right thing to me.
All right, well, I will hear a motion as well. If anybody wants to vote. So we have, let's see, who voted last time? Just if I can be clear as far as,
For the record, I was absent last time, but if there was no evidence heard, then I guess I'm still in the running.
okay, you're still in.
Were you here?
I was here,
You were here?
I see a clear case of who's voted, who's not.
but if you were asking if I voted, I couldn't last time either, so I guess it's irrelevant.
Well, I just
We're
tried
going to
to,
let Doug vote.
okay, that's fine. So, is that what you want to do? That's fine.
Yep.
Okay, so, you know, because we're missing Mr. Byers. So, all right, so Doug, you can vote tonight.
All right. I'm sorry.
That's it.
I will make a motion, if I'm allowed to. I'll make a motion to grant the variance at 562 Boxwood Street to grant relief from Section 7.1, Table 2 of the zoning bylaw to allow lot area from proposed of 59,652, which is required of 87,120, which is a difference of, and I took my calculator out, 27,468, I think. And also a variance to, of section 7.1.1 to this, for the CBA from 55% that is proposed and required is 75%, which is a difference of 25% requested relief. No, that's not right.
I think it's 20.
That's 20, yeah. And I didn't take out my calculator, so that's why I screwed that up, yeah. Which is 20% relief. And I'll have to, it's been a while.
Make reference to the plan.
Yeah, I'm going to reference the plan dated 1/2 from Michael J. Sergi, number 3, no, sorry. Sorry, I'm used to that
I
seat.
know,
You know?
we're at a loss tonight.
Oh, boy. Plan by Christensen and Sergi, dated 1/2,
July 24th.
July 24th, revised,
1/2.
January 2nd, 2015.
Motion, is there a second?
Whatever that was, I'll second it.
Huh? I know, I wouldn't second that. I would revise it and redo it.
I feel comfortable.
I know what you meant.
I feel comfortable. I think we know what you meant.
You have a pretty good plan here. Okay, so motion is second. So I'll call the vote. Start with you, in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
McIntyre?
I'm all set.
Is that a yes or no?
That is a yes. I'm sorry. Wow.
No, I'm an aye, a traditional aye.
Yay.
I'm also an aye, so I'll declare this unanimously approved, and we'll issue a decision within 14 days.
Thank you very much.
You still have to go to planning and conservation. You have to look at that.
Thank you.
One down, two to go.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks for coming. All right, that takes care of that.
Just need a little practice, that's all. We just need a little more practice.
All right, and last on our agenda is the annual elections. For anybody that is interested.
No.
So we have to nominate somebody to be president, is that the way it works?
According to our bylaw, we have to nominate a chair, a vice, and a clerk.
Do we
And we
do
have to
it,
do that every year.
I understand, do we do it one at a time, or do we do it all three at once?
I think it matters, however you guys want to do it.
I would like to nominate Mr. Manzi to be the chairman of the zoning board for the calendar year 2015.
You up for doing it again?
If you want me to, it's fine.
second on that.
Happy to do it if you want me to. It's fine.
I can't say all set fast enough.
Nope.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Second to, I'll third.
Okay, second and third, all in favor of that?
Aye.
All right, we'll let the record reflect that.
Who's next?
Vice chair.
Vice Chair?
I make a motion, do we nominate Ms. Ellen McIntyre to be the vice chair for the
Second.
calendar year 2015?
Second. I'll give another third.
Second and third, okay.
No, I don't see anyone stepping up to this.
All in favor?
No desire. Aye, all set.
Okay.
What if I decline it?
Well,
Too
you
late.
still have the option.
We just voted, you're right.
It's too late now.
You're going to have to resign from the board if you want to decline the office.
Right. And then the last would be Mr. Byers' position of clerk of the board, and since he's not here, certainly I have to nominate him.
He's lucky he didn't get nominated chair.
that, Alan.
No, I'll second the motion of making Mr. Byers the, what's it, the clerk?
Yeah.
The clerk of the zoning board.
But we should put a scare into him, shouldn't we?
What, and
You know
make him
what,
chairman?
Yeah, no, I want... No,
Let's see, Rick again.
I think you make a motion to nominate, or whoever it was, make a motion to nominate Rick. I'll make a motion to nominate Alan. That way there's like a real race. And maybe Rick will show up next time.
He has seniority. He has seniority.
Boy, you guys are no fun.
He has seniority.
I hope you're watching, Byers.
We can give him a conditioned acceptance by the next meeting if, where he's not here to defend himself,
I don't think so.
if you want.
Kenny's lucky he's not chair.
I know, right? All right, was that a second? Did I hear a third?
I'll second Rick and third.
But it's on the table that didn't you nominate someone as well?
No, it's just going to be for fun. You guys didn't play along.
Should we play for fun?
No,
Do you want?
no,
No.
no,
Are you
no.
sure?
No. Off the books, off the table. No discussion.
Okay.
No discussion.
All right.
I'm happy being just a peon.
Oh,
It's actually more powerful than you think.
I agree, he has to read that every meeting.
Yes.
yeah. All right, is that how you guys want to roll tonight?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor of Mr. Byers, then?
Aye.
Okay. So that'll be our official slate for the upcoming fiscal year. And maybe we won't give Rick an option when he
Oh, why give him an
No,
option?
he's in.
Yeah,
He's in.
He's
That's
in.
what he gets for not showing up.
Right.
He's
Okay.
lucky that's all he got.
All right, then we'll continue with our efforts, and all in favor of adjournment.
I'll make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are so adjourned.